please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
From technical traits to our in-house research, Kolkata-based NBFC SREI Infra has recently spoken about their intention of coming out with an IPO for SREI Equipment Finance. The previous IPO from the group was of Bharat Road Network Limited. That was launched about a year ago. Within 10 months of this IPO, the company has been referred to NCLT by one of its lenders. Abhishek Kothari, our in-house researcher who looks at NBFCs very closely, analyzes what's gone wrong at Bharat Road Network. Abhishek.
Well, to begin with, SREI Group had come out with an IPO of Bharat Road Network in September or October 2017. In less than a year of its listing, that is 10 months, the company has been referred to NCLT or the National Company Law Tribunal by Religare Finvest for a little due over 51 crores. Now, BRNL, however, has raised a dispute in this matter, and so the litigation is still on. Let's look at how the business was created just before the IPO. Now, BRNL acquired equity in special purpose vehicles from SREI in FY15 and FY16. So they acquired around 15% in Odisha Steel Expressway, which became a subsidiary being valued at 79 crore. Now BRNL is a minority in a majority of the other project SPVs like Guruvayur Infrastructure Project Limited, you have Mahakaleshwar Toll, Kurukshetra Expressway, etc. So they own the operational projects just before the IPO were Guruvayur Infrastructure, Mahakaleshwar Tollways, and the operational projects under conditional commencement of certificate was Kurukshetra, Ghaziabad, Aligarh and Sri Jagannath Expressway. The project under construction was Solapur Tollways. Over there they own about 99%. So how the company created the net worth just before their IPO? BRNL's net worth was at negative 67 crore in FY16. However, they did fundraising in two tranches, one of right issue and one of placement of shares to SREI Infra, due to which the net worth became positive of 596 crores. So practically, the company acquired a positive net worth just ahead of its IPO. As per the objects of the issue, a majority of the money was meant to repay SREI in terms of the debt. So if you look at the 601 crore that was raised by the company, nearly 430 crore or 75% of the IPO were actually given, or 75% of the IPO were actually given to SREI as a repayment of the debt. So the projects with majority control have been in limbo since the beginning. So the Odisha Steel Expressway is under foreclosure and is handed back to NHAI. You look at the Solapur Tollways, that has been under commencement since last 7 to 8 years, wherein they have 99% stake, and it has been getting postponed every now and then and is right now being postponed to December 2018 as per the latest update by the company. Now BRNL is planning to buy another SPV. So with almost no operating projects under control, the company intends to buy 51% in a Kerala SPV. The main concern is that where the company does not have majority control, the performance or contribution to financials have been higher from those projects wherein BRNL are a majority stakeholders. The performance has not been to that level. Another project, that is GIPL, they are looking to raise their stake from 49 to 74 and to 100%. So this will remain the only operational project under their radar. So this is not a stock recommendation, but we have only put out facts as reported by the company and making investors become aware of what is happening.
That's much needed, actually, investor awareness on stocks like this. Our research head is also here with us, Sonal Sachdev. Sonal, there are many questionable decisions that investors need to be aware of.
Yeah, we just like to look at it from the perspective of shareholders. What Abhishek put out was what was there, details from the offer document and from the financials reported by the company. So they're all facts there. The question that arises is, if I'm a shareholder of SREI, I mean, SREI gave money without interest to Bharat Road. SREI invested in, sponsoring Bharat Road projects. Normally with an associate company, you wouldn't do that. You do that, you also palm off a few projects to Bharat Road Network. Now those projects are non-performing. One of them has gone back to NHAI. where they're looking at closing it out because they couldn't acquire the land. The other project for which most of the funds were given hasn't taken off for almost a year now. They keep pushing it back. So from a SREI shareholder perspective, what you're asking is, what have we actually got out of it? You actually don't know whether you actually gained or lost because you've moved up some projects which actually haven't taken off. You've got money repaid, but didn't earn any interest on that on the period. From Bharat Road Network perspective, you're saying, okay, what is it as a shareholder that I've got? IPO raised money, almost all that money went to SREI, besides meeting issue expenses. So what are we left with? Some projects that haven't really taken off. They have projects with Simplex and PNC Infra, etc., which are SPVs, which are doing fairly well. But the ones where SREI is directly involved with the majority control, they haven't really shown much performance. In fact, SREI has taken, indicated in its accounting that it's looking at these investments as long-term investments and looking at capital gains from them. And they're expensing, the interest from them, taking it directly to the balance sheet, not taking it to the P&L. So that raises questions. I mean, we remember the SREI management was with us, and they were talking about saying that SREI Infra now doesn't have a CEO, and they're not looking at growing that book. And SREI Equipment Finance is what they're looking at. Now, looking to take that company public, what investors and people are concerned about is that you're taking the most active part of it out of SREI Infra. A better thing would be to do is give shares of, let's say, 1 share of SREI Equipment Finance to every shareholder of SREI Infra, and retain some holding here. That way you'll create value. But if you just show it, take it out as a subsidiary, it'll again perhaps
left for SREI Infra investors.
Exactly. And if you see SREI Infra's chart, obviously the market